The first trick to calculating percentages mentally is to learn the most common fractions and their equivalent in percentage or decimal form. 50% is equal to 1/2 and is written as 0.50 in decimal form. 25% is 1/4 or 0.25. 33.33% is 1/3 or 0.3333. 20% is equal to 1/5 or 0.20. 10% is easy. It's 1/10 or 0.10. 5% is 1/20 or 0.05. Now let's see some examples. When we see 50%, we just need to multiply by 1/2, which is the same as dividing by 2. 120 divided by 2 is 60. 20% is the same as multiplying by 1/5, or dividing by 5. 500 divided by 5 is 100. For 25%, simply multiply by 1/4 or divide by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7. 7. Remember that 5% is 1/20, so we need to divide by 20. 60 divided by 20 equals 3. The next trick when working with percentages is to break the percentage into two simpler parts using addition or multiplication. For example, 55% might seem difficult to calculate mentally, but if we split it into 50% and 5%, we just need to add both results. 60% is simply 10% multiplied by 6. 15% might look tricky, but we just need to calculate 5% and multiply it by 3. 26% is the same as 25% plus 1%. Now it's time to practice with some examples. 80% of 350 is the same as 8 times 10% of 350, which equals 35 times 8. That is 280. To find 30% of 40, we can first calculate 25% of 40 and then add 5% of 40. 25% of 40 is 40 divided by 4, which equals 10. 5% of 40 is 40 divided by 20, which equals 2. So 30% of 40 is 10 plus 2 equals 12. 11% of 140 is 10% of 140, which is 14, plus 1% of 140, which is 1.4. The sum of 14 plus 1.4 equals 15.4. Remember, there are multiple ways to break down a percentage into simpler parts. You can choose the method that feels fastest for you. With this percentage trick, you'll be able to calculate them mentally much more easily. The trick is to swap the percentage from the first number to the second one. Mathematically, the result remains the same. For example, 17% of 50 is the same as 50% of 17, which means 17 divided by 2 equals 8.5. 18% of 500 is the same as 500% of 18, which equals 5 times 18 equals 90. 40% of 25 is the same as 25% of 40, which means 40 divided by 4 equals 10. If you want to learn more math topics in a very easy and simple way, check out our YouTube channel. We teach entire topics in under 10 minutes.